Hello and welcome to the Exalted Empress Tarot. My name is Tiana and I am the Empress. Welcome to my court. Today we are going to talk about love. And we have 4 piles today. If you have not done one of these readings before, we're going to talk about you in this reading. We're going to talk about where you're at the time of meeting your person, and we're going to talk about the actual person coming in. So all you need to do is pick one of these 4 piles based off of the crystals, and I'm going to go ahead and show them to you. And you can pick 1 pile, you can pick 2, you can pick all 4, though that may be a little bit confusing. And whichever one you choose, the timestamp for it will be down below, so you can just jump to that reading. So the first group would be represented by the Utilite crystal. This cute little flame cut. Group number 2 will be represented by this amethyst cluster right here. Group number 3 is going to be represented by the snow obsidian. And group number 4 is going to be represented by the rhodochrosite. Kind of hard to say. But this cute little pink heart with the druzy. That'll be group number 4. So if you need an extra moment to decide, feel free to pause this for a second, focus, and come back, and I will see you in your reading. Bye. Hello, group number 1. So we are back, and your first card here from the El Quad deck is She Who Changes. Iris, transformation, change, and enchantment. And that is about following your dreams, believing in what other people may think is silly, impossible, magical, that sort of thing. And within your love reading, I'm seeing that as Spirit advising you to kind of love, believe in love for first sight. Just be silly and happy and move towards what other people may not think is the smartest thing, just because, you know, this is your time. This is your time to follow your love story. So if you want to get more into that message, stick with me. I'm going to pull some more cards from you from the tarot deck. And the tarot deck that we're using, as you can see, is the Soleil Tarot. I'm going to shuffle this for you on screen. And because I am doing it on screen, it may take a little bit. It depends. Oh, is that what we're doing? Let's see what cards you got. Okay. The first one is the 9 of Chalices, or the 9 of Cups. The second one that we have is the Magician, and then the Page of Swords. Now, I'm going to keep going because I want you to have a full message before I start reading. And again, if you have not done these before, or if you have not seen one of my readings before where we have the 2 cards at the end, the Oracle deck that is on the left, that's kind of your theme for the whole rest of the reading. And then the card that's all the way on the right, that is from a different Oracle deck, and that's going to be the kind of sum of the rest of the reading. So, if you're wondering why that card is there and what may be behind it, no worries. You will see at the end. So we have 8 of Chalices, we have Three of Swords. We have the Ace of Chalices, and we have a bonus one here. Let's see, the Two of Swords. And let me move everything so we make sure we have everything in view for you for your reading. There we go. Now, we're just gonna go left from right, from top to bottom. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of magic, good things, positivity, fun at the beginning of this reading. So not only do we have this kind of playful, magical, leaning into loving love type energy, but then we have the Nine of Chalices, or the Nine of Cups if you've seen other tarot decks. It's traditionally the Nine of Cups. And this is kind of a wish fulfillment energy. I'm seeing that if you look at things in this kind of playful way, the universe will actually answer you, and you will see this person kind of come in, or this love story kind of play out. Now, that doesn't mean we don't use reason and we don't use common sense, but I feel like maybe your love life currently needs a more playful energy, and that will help you moving forward. So we're definitely seeing that the She Who Changes, and then the Nine of Chalices. I see that maybe once your energy shifts a little bit, things will start coming towards you easier, and maybe actually fill in that fantasy that you have, or that idea, that dream you have of how a love story should unfold. We also have the Magician, followed by the Page of Swords. So the Magician is having all the tools that you need in order to move forward. So if you've been working on yourself, if you've been looking for how you can best improve your life or improve yourself, and you're wondering, I've been looking for a while and I haven't found this person or that person or person like this, Spirit is saying that you have done all the work. Don't worry about that too much. Not that we shouldn't all, improve as things go on, but with the Magician, it's saying that don't think that there's a lack within you. That's not what's happening here. You have you. We just need that most positive vibe, and with you having that more positive energy, that playful, fun fantasy energy, and then with the skills and everything that you have, you will be able to move forward. You will find that person a little bit easier. You may even find that you have some options once your point of view on things change. So after that, we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is a new truth, a new fact, a new something coming in. So there may be something, someone, a situation that's different that's coming in that you've thought of before but have been pushing away. Once you accept it, and this can be, again, this can be a situation, this can be, maybe you don't like going into, you've wanted to join a club, but you were like, the idea of joining like a group or a hobby or something is just not really for you. Or maybe, you've been thinking about going on apps or a certain app, and you're just like, oh God, if I have to be on my phone the whole time, which I hear you, trust me. Or maybe people have been trying to introduce you to a certain friend, and you just haven't really been into it. If you're truly honest with yourself, you're just like, oh, I really don't care to be set up, to be honest with you. I don't want to do speed dating. You get the idea. Anything that you maybe could have started, but you pushed away, I think accepting that new thing, maybe the next thing that's introduced to you, if you already know something that your friends have been telling you should do, and you haven't been doing it, leaning into that is actually going to help you find this person. So I would lean into whatever that thing is, and it'll probably be different since this is a collective reading for each person watching, but look into that, consider it. may be very helpful for you. And it's so interesting that that card is then followed by the Queen of Chalices, because the Queen of Chalices, so the Queen of Cups, if you are used to the traditional tarot, it's talking about following your intuition, your feelings on things. So maybe you've just been very logical in the past of everything, and you're just like, boom, 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 these are the steps, this is what I'll do, this is what I care about. The Queen of Chalices is telling you to lean a little bit more into your feelings, your intuition, follow that. Again, don't completely ignore your logical side and common sense and things like that. But, lean more into your feelings. Don't ignore your gut, because there's something there that can help you and can lead you into your love life, your future lover, partner. You just have to lean into that energy and follow your intuition. Don't completely ignore it, because that may be what's been holding you back. So, the King of Swords. The King of Swords is about facts, brutal honesty, to the point of maybe a lack of tact. I kind of laugh every time I see this card, because it's one of those things where sometimes you need brutal honesty, but like the Queen of Swords is so much more likable. It's a little bit more balanced feelings. But I see that this maybe could be your person. If you're someone who's really had to consciously lean into your feelings, your intuition, and trying new things, this person, this King of Swords, it doesn't have to be male, right? Like, this is just the energy it brings. As you can tell, it's the King of Swords, and there is a divine feminine as the picture. But what this is basically saying is the person who's coming in may be someone just as structured as you are. So those things don't have to be separate. This person can be very structured and fact-based. Things are what they are. We aren't worried about emotions, etc. But still, when it comes to romance, love, their partner, maybe we like believing that true love exists, or love at first sight exists, or having a romantic story, right? But then you have to lean away from that super factual part of you, because then how else are you going to really feed into that energy if you're too structured with yourself? So I'm seeing that maybe both of you are doing that at this time. You and your partner, you're both leaning in a little bit more into the magic of things, and but that person you're gonna meet is still, they're gonna match you, right? So don't think that you're being too romantic if you're leaning into that energy, that you're only gonna find someone who's not as fact-based, air element as you. 8 of Cups and 3 of Swords. I may read this bottom row as your partner or the person coming in, because I'm seeing the first row seems much more based off of what you should do, leaning into emotions, intuition. And what I'm seeing here is a heartbreak with the 3 of Swords and the 8 of Chalices, kind of leaving something behind, moving forward. This person may also be, holding on to being very structured themselves, or, not really moving forward before they meet you, because they kind of tried that. They kind of tried being more on the emotional side, at least for them, and that didn't work out for them, and so it maybe made them a little bit more jaded. So you may be catching them at a time period where they're coming with a more jaded, more structured, maybe even a little off-putting energy. But I think that may even be what kind of helps you guys connect, because you understand that as someone who's not off-putting, but as someone who's more structured themselves and more practical, it doesn't bother you. You're not immediately like, ugh, right? Because you understand that, you know, being more reserved with your feelings, and you leaning in, being more emotional, being like, but I have this connection, may actually help you guys communicate and move forward in things to begin with. So it's funny how those things happen, but do know, if they seem a little jaded, it may be because of a recent heartbreak on their end, or because if you're leaning more toward that romantic side, that may be off-putting for them because the last time they trusted that in themselves and had that intuition, they feel maybe that bit them in the butt, right? And so then we have the Ace of Chalices, which is someone new, which in this case, if we're reading this bottom line as, you know, this partner, obviously you're the someone new that they're coming, that's coming into their lives. Ace of Chalices can also be just new feelings, new energy, which again, just backs up what we've been saying, right? You're having new energy, you're having a new outlook on romantic storyline, how we do dating, things like that. And then at the end we have Two of Swords, which is a choice. And I think that is very just like solid for this reading, right? At the end of the day, you meet someone, you guys start to hit it off, and then you have to make a choice. Are we gonna stick to it, or are we going to kind of pass? So I think here, what the cards and Spirit is saying is that you're going to have a connection come in real soon if you lean into that playful energy, in that loving love fantasy type energy, and that person may fit your current personality, or how you would describe your personality as very fact-based, air energy, maybe more structured individual who may be a little hesitant into leaning into that, you know, love energy as well, but because they recently got out of something. And now we come to the part of the reading where we look at the other oracle deck card, and we have Magical Wand. So give me one moment, and I'm gonna look into what the guidebook for this deck says about this card. One moment. Okay, so what I have for the Magical Wand is you are being offered the magic wand. You are showing an incredible amount of potential right now. You're being driven by strong, intuitive, creative forces. It's as if you have a latent talent within you that's absolutely bursting to be expressed. Wonderful ideas could be building up within you, or cosmic inspirations that are begging to be birthed into reality. You're being offered an opportunity to amplify this passionate energy to go forth and create magic. What did we say? With intuition, and of course, wonderful ideas, passionate energy, creating magic, I think this all goes back to the same thing, right? Leaning into your intuition and doing things a different way to get a magical response, magical results in your life. Okay, so I think that there's a large amount of potential to meet someone new and have a really exciting and magical new relationship this fall. So I hope that resonated. If it did and you'd like to join the Empress's Court, like and subscribe below, and I will see you next time, group number 1. Hello, welcome to the Exalted Empress Tarot group number 2. If you pick the Amethyst cluster, you're in the right place. This is your group. And so, our first card is our Oracle card right here, Colette, she who nurtures. And when we're talking about your love life, we are talking about having empathy, feeling like we're going through a healing time in our lives. And I feel with this card, with Colette, empathy, gentleness, insight, you are in a space, which, by the way, it's, these synchronicities always happen. The amethyst is also about calm. It's about being at peace. Sometimes people have it in the room to help them sleep. And it looks like Colette is also wearing, she's wearing a purple jewel. I'm going to say it's amethyst in this case. You're going through a healing time in your life. You're cool, you're calm, you're really embracing your feminine energy. And that's when your person is going to come in, okay? So you may even feel like this person and this relationship heals you as well. Like you're healing each other, that you bring that calmness out in the other person. So that is just lovely. And if you have not been in one of these readings before, the first oracle card, that's kind of like the theme, your overall theme for the reading. And I'm going to take this top card because a lot of the cards came out. And then we have our tarot cards, which will be in the middle here. I'm going to pull 8 cards for you, okay, from the, this is not the traditional tarot deck, but it's the traditional 78 cards, okay? So I'm going to pick 8 for you today as part of your love reading. And then the last card, that's from a different oracle deck. And that will be kind of a, some of these cards do want to come. This is a large cluster, but they all want to come out. So I'll take these. This last card, this pink one right here, is also from an oracle deck, a different oracle deck. And that will be like a summary of the overall vibe of your reading. Okay, so we can space these out a little bit. Let's do this, okay? And so we have the Queen of Wands, we have the 9 of Wands, the Hermit over here, we have Queen of Swords, this is the 8 of Chalices, the 3 of Pentacles. Let's get you 2 more cards. I'll make sure you can see everything. Yes. Let's do 2 more cards. Okay, I think that may be exactly 2. Every once in a while, Spirit is nice. Interesting. And I'll get the exact right number of cards. I love that for me. Sometimes I feel a little unfair if I'm shuffling the cards for different decks and some get way more than others. I'm like, but I already did that other deck. Okay. So we have healing energy for you, and then we have the Queen of Wands. I absolutely love that for you because the Queen of Wands is my bad bitch energy card. It really is my favorite card of the deck, and yes, I am biased. I feel like she represents me a little bit, okay? I'm a Sagittarius, in case you wanted to know. This is someone who has a lot of drive, a lot of passion towards their projects, or whatever they're working towards. And if you are in that healing space and you're looking for love, guess what? That passion that you have for love, for looking for your partner, for healing yourself, with working on your shadow, that is going to show. And that's going to help you move forward, especially since I'm seeing that with the Nine of Wands, you may have been working on yourself for a while, and you may have been working through a lot, whether that is something, a big event that you've been working through in your life, a hard cycle, or if it just feels like you've been working towards for a really long time. You may be feeling a little worn out from all the work, all the inner work you've been doing recently with the Nine of Wands. Perfectly understandable. So we all have those times in our lives where we're going through a lot, and then we have the Hermit. And the reason I'm kind of reading those together is because I'm feeling this energy of like, you've been pushing through, you've been working hard, you're putting in a lot of effort, and then you may reach a point where you're just kind of like, I need to isolate, I need to be on my own, I need to work on me over here away from some of the others who have been giving me a hard time, whoever those others are, or it's not individual people, it's situations. That's what the Hermit energy is. And a lot of people think that the Hermit card is more of a negative card, because it's isolation. I don't think the Hermit card is automatically a negative card. I think it just depends. You can have positive isolation or you can have negative isolation. So if you're by yourself and you're not healing, you're not working on you, you're just kind of by yourself and you're not learning from the experience, and yeah, that's going to be a negative isolation. But if you're isolated and you take that time to learn, to grow, to work on you, then you're going to have a lot better time, right? You're going to be learning, and you're going to come out of that Hermit period having progressed a lot. So I think for you, especially when you have the Queen of Wands energy, you have been working on yourself a lot. Even if you have Knight of Wands energies as well, and you're a little worn out, that is okay. And it may be that you have been pushing yourself to find your person, to, start your romantic adventure, and that's been kind of wearing you out as well. It may be a lot on your plate at one time. That does happen. As we all know, out here, love is a battlefield, trying to get everything done. So this Hermit mode could be a reset. It could be you realigning with yourself. And that's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. And then we have the Eight of Chalices energy. At the end of this, you may feel like you need to let something go or to walk away from something that's been holding you back. That may be the source of you breaking down. It may just be a situation. It may be a person if you are on the fence in a current connection. If you've met someone and you're not sure, whether to progress it, things like that. Or you put everything you have, especially with the Nine of Wands itself. You may put everything into a situation and you're just kind of Denzo with that. With the Eight of Chalices, it may be time to move on from that. Or it could just be a mindset. It could be that you've done all of this healing and you have that time to yourself, and now you're realizing, oh, I may need to walk away from this mindset that's holding me down. Either way, I think with the top row, I'm going to read the top row as you and the bottom row as the person who's coming in for you. The above row, I think, is ending with you walking away, if nothing else, from a mindset that's been holding you back, with greater understanding. And either way, I do feel like you've been working on healing yourself. You're very passionate about moving forward in your life, and that includes romance for you. So I think things are really going to move towards not just things that are better, but a peace, sense of peace. And that's really what's going to attract in your future partner. So your future partner is being represented here by the Queen of Swords. Now, you don't have to worry too much about gender here, even though it says Queen of Swords. And I think it was just in the previous pile. I was saying the Queen of Swords is a bit more preferable, at least in my mind, than the King of Swords, because the Queen of Swords is balanced as far as facts and emotions. So you're working on healing your inner self, and this person is very much balanced when it comes to facts, being, this is what it is, and emotions and understanding the other person's side of things. And with Three of Pentacles, I feel like overall this person is a really great person to have around, because the Three of Pentacles energies, they're a really good team player. This is someone who is going to have your back, is going to know how to communicate, and even if they don't know where you're coming from, is going to be really good with their communication, which, let's be real, that's the pinnacle, am I right? Being able to communicate correctly in a relationship. Does anyone do that? I hope so. I'm being pessimistic. Don't listen to that. Plenty of people communicate correctly in relationships, even if you, like me, have a hard time seeing it all the time. I promise. So this person who's coming in, they're very balanced both with the emotions and the factual representation things, and they are a team player. So this is someone who you've been working on healing, working on balancing yourself. They're the perfect person to come in and balance that with you in the scope of a relationship. With the Eight of Swords, they may feel a little boxed in when they meet you, whether it's because they meet you, or it may just be, it may be a mix of the situation they were in beforehand. I'm kind of getting like something about the person that they were with before. It could be a situation that's outside of their romantic connection beforehand, but what I'm getting is that in the connection they were in before, they felt very boxed in. Whether that was true or not, I say that less as a judgment of them and just the cards. This card is normally seen where someone believes that they're blindfolded and stuck in one spot, and they're not. So they may have felt very boxed in their past relationship, whether that's true or not. And the end of that relationship may have been a sense of freedom for them, and then they meet you, and it's like, oh, but I just got free, we've been there, right? We've been there. So it may be a surprise to them when they meet you. It may not be what they were looking for right away. Okay, so don't take that to heart too much. It's more of just sometimes timing works out in really funny ways, and so just keep that in mind. They are coming out of something recently. They may be like, oh, I wasn't looking for this, and it just is kind of happening. And then we have the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is a victory. So once they get over this, they may come to their senses and realize what a great situation this is, realizing that this connection may be the next big thing for them. So I am going to go ahead and reveal this other oracle card for you, and I have Neptune. So let's go ahead and look into that. What is Neptune representing? Ooh, it is the planet of subconscious dreams and fantasies. Let's see. The ruling zodiac sign is Pisces. So hello, all of my Pisces. If you're in here right now, this pile was definitely made for you, and if not, no worries. Okay, I'll read this real quick. Neptune, ta-da, is a slow-moving planet that orbits at a gentle pace around our zodiac, which allows its effects to play out generationally. It's fluid, changeable, and dreamy, governing all that is mysterious, imaginative, illusionary, and abstract in nature. We have incredible potential for compassion, creation, creativity whenever Neptune's energy is channeled through us. This planet is also concerned with our connected to spirituality and will often assist us in harnessing our own inner spirit. It reminds us that our reality is much more than our thoughts, egos, and individual identities. However, Neptune can also be deceiving, causing confusion whenever it arrives in our frame of focus. It's lord and influencer over our dreams, hopes, and beliefs, which can often lead us to confusing perspective that cloud our clarity over what is true reality. What is our dreamt fantasy? When the lights are down low, Neptune can easily lurk in the shadowy netherworld, an unpleasant form of escapism from the darker, swimming in the seas of delusion under the grip of avoidance and other unusual abnormalities. Okay, so Neptune, what are we learning here? So it's about dreams, our hopes, our fantasies, the positive side of that, well, our dreams and hopes, right? And the negative is if we're focused too much on it and then we go into the negative side. So what I'm seeing here, especially when we have the Hermit and taking time for ourselves and healing, is that we want to manifest and bring in and stick to our feminine, divine feminine energy and bring this person in and not project our perspective onto the other person or onto someone new who's coming in, okay? So let's have patience for our Queen of Swords person. They may be slow moving to come into our lives, or they may come into our lives. You may even already know who this person is, but the development of this relationship may be more of a slow burn than it is something that happens quickly, which is totally okay. I would say in this case, Neptune is just about being cautious. You've been spending a lot of time healing, working on you, and you don't want to mess up a good cycle by rushing forward into something else because we're like, this is my Queen of Swords person. So take your time. If it's meant to be, it will be, even if you don't rush it, right? It'll still come to you. And that is the message I have for you, group number 2. So if that resonated, like and subscribe below. I would love to have you in the Empress's Court, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 3. And if you picked the Snow Obsidian, this is your pile. You are in the right place. Welcome. And we're gonna do your love reading for fall. So just to explain what we're gonna go over, how we're gonna go over everything, this first oracle card is kind of your advice. It's kind of the summary of the whole reading for you. And then our second oracle card over here is going to be the summary at the end. In between our first row of 4 cards is going to be you in this upcoming new relationship, and then the bottom row is going to be the other person. So I hope you're excited. I'm excited. And we're just gonna go over your first oracle card real quickly. So you have a Savage, she who is wild, untamed, wild, and mysterious. So this is about being authentic to yourself, okay? And the people around you, are they being authentic with themselves? Are they authentic in how they show up? Or are they kind of boxing you in? Are they kind of like judgmental somewhat? Because we don't need that judgmental energy. And if you're trying to meet a new person, obviously you want someone who's being authentic to themselves, so that you truly know if the two personalities get along, right? If they're not being authentic, you're not being authentic, that's not going to work out. You guys are going to have issues communicating and just being as one, as a couple. So if you have been holding yourself back, if you have been, more reserved in who you are, or feeling like you need to fit in with a certain group, this is the time to truly be you, so that the next person that you find is truly matched. You can know if you're really meant to be. So right, I'm just shuffling, as you can see. These cards for you. Sometimes they come out all at once. They come out very quickly, and then other times it takes a little bit. So let me go ahead. These cards came out for you. We have the World, a lot of major arcana for you. We have the Sun, awesome. We then have the Ten of Swords, and that is most of your row. TBD. Let's get a couple more cards out for you. Oh no, we don't. I'm really feeling this first card wants to come out. So this is, King of Pentacles. Very interesting. Okay. So that is your row. And so let's get this other row out. Really? Okay. I'm going to say I'm really feeling this card. So we have the Moon. Oh, I don't get that card in this deck too often. Ace of Swords. Two more cards. Okay, a bunch fell out. I'm just gonna take the top one. Four of Swords. And one more for your partner in this case. What are you? Three of Wands. There we go. Okay. So honestly, you literally could not have a more happy start. With this. So we have being authentic, being yourself, being in original energy. Then we have the World and the Sun. The World it's the end or beginning of a cycle, right? It's a cycle, so there's no full stop, beginning or end. And I'm seeing with you and the Sun, which is the happiest card in the deck, okay? The Sun card cannot be negative, even if it were in reverse. Now, I do not read this deck in reverse, mostly for practical reasons. This deck is really, the cards are really big, right? But I'm seeing is you're coming to a new cycle where you're very, very, very happy. You're very content. And that may have to do a lot with the fact that you are more authentic to yourself with this, Sauvage, she who is a wild card. So you're more authentic, you're being yourself, you're starting this new phase in your life, you're really happy. I'm not really seeing a downside for you right now, pile 3. Things are going your way, which is awesome. I'm sorry, I can't. That's been off center. Okay. Things are going your way, okay? Things are going very well for you with this change, with you truly stepping into who you are. I love that for you. I could go on forever about being yourself and being authentic. Awesome. With the Ten of Swords, I'm seeing that, well, the Ten of Swords is in fact the like definitive end of a cycle, but I don't see this as a bad thing. In the original tarot, those swords would be on someone's back, so it's a bit dramatic. But in your case, I think this is really just saying the old you is gone. The old you is gone, which is fine because we have a new you, the new, authentic, happy, things are going well version of you. So we're not worried about the old you, you know, not being here. Other people may say something, other people will be like, oh, you're so different now, but that always happens when you grow up. Right? That always happens. Like, oh, you're so different now. Almost like, yeah, I kind of needed to be though. That's how we grow, by becoming a different version of ourselves. So I think, I mean, that just adds on to the meaning of our first card with She Who Is Wild, that you're becoming new, you're becoming a new person, things are going well. It is awesome for you, okay? Do not downplay it. Then we have the King of Pentacles here. And that's just saying your emotions, you're balancing them better, you're coming more level with them, and you're being able to observe them and be a little bit more distanced from them, not in a I'm distant, I'm numb sort of way, but you're able to, in a healthy way, observe your emotions as they happen and not be, you know, completely moved by them when you have strong emotions or feelings. You can see how they're observing them from a little bit of a distance. You can distance yourself and be like, okay, I do feel this way. This is why I feel this way. This is how I'm going to move forward. And I think that's great, you know, just because you're a little wild and your authenticity doesn't mean you have to be like out of control, which those two things don't have to be the same in this case. So I'm seeing you're doing well. When you start looking for a relationship, or when you meet this person, you're gonna feel like a whole new you. You're gonna be on the up and up. You're gonna feel really, really positive. And you're probably, especially with the sun, you're probably gonna be radiating that out, and that's how your person is going to find you. With the Ace of Swords, and I'm gonna use this bottom row as them. And I'm going to read this with the moon as well together. I see this person as they may be thinking they want to be in a relationship. This may be like a new idea that kind of pops into their head, but they're not sure. With the moon, they have a lot of hesitation. I'm just realizing the sun and the moon line up in this case. Isn't that interesting? Coincidence? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm really very excited, happy with your authenticity, and again, you may be radiating that out, and that may be the first thing they notice about you with them having this moon card, because they're not sure. This may be someone too who they want to move forward, and they may be talking to different people when you first see them, but they're never sure, they're never positive, they're always kind of going back and forth and that kind of thing. And I think seeing you be your true self, being happy-go-lucky, being really happy, that's going to be something that really moves them. That's going to make them think, oh, this person is different from other people that I've been meeting recently. And there's just something about them that's different. So, look at you. This is why we don't listen to people who tell us, oh, you've changed, you're different. I'm gonna get a partner, so yeah, I need to be different. With our Four of Swords, we're seeing rest. This person, I'm gonna be honest with you, you may see them and you may think at first that they're a little bit boring. Give them a second. Give them some space, give them a little room, because I think they're just trying to take a step back from other things that have been going on. But the Four of Swords it's about rest. So with the moon and being unclear about things, and then rest, they may need to take a step back to truly understand what's going on with them right now at this time, and they may be in that state of rest when they meet you. So it's not personal. If they seem a little distant, if you meet them and you're like, they seem they're kind of hard to read, that may just be where they're at right now. There's not a lot you can really do about that. That's where they're at right now. But that doesn't mean they're not interested in you, or they wouldn't be a good partner, or all these other things. It just means they're coming from a different place. We can't all be radiating sunlight, bright, with the world in our hands at all times, okay? With balanced emotions. You're coming from a very good place, so you may have a difficult time finding someone who's exactly on your level. And what I'm not seeing, though there's a little confusion with the moon, overall I'm not seeing like bad, in quotations, cards. I'm not seeing the devil, I'm not seeing the tower, I'm not seeing this person that doesn't know which way is up. They're just, looking for a relationship right now is a new thing for them. Or, maybe not new thing ever in their life, it's just they just kind of started easing into it, and you're more ready than they are, is how I would read that. And then we have the Three of Wands, and I think this is interesting. I think they may just be a couple of steps behind you on the timeline. I think the Three of Wands here is about planning and moving forward with our plans. So we have the Ace of Wands where they get a new idea, and then we have the Three of Wands where they're enacting their plan. So again, they just maybe be a little bit more slow moving. They will move forward. They do, like, you want to, work on making sure they're stable with their emotions. Not to say that they're unstable. We don't need that kind of energy. But just that they want to work on themselves too, but they may just be a couple steps behind you on that. They may not be as proactive, and they may not be radiating beautiful sunlight, the world's in their hands like you. But that does not mean, again, that they aren't serious about this relationship. They're just coming from a little bit of a different energy. So let's go ahead and flip this card over, your other oracle card, and we have Fate. I love this card. I just love the way it looks with the palm reading. I cannot do palm reading myself. Maybe though, I will look into it. This is interesting card. So let's see how that summarizes the rest of your love reading. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take a moment, and I'm just gonna look up what the guidebook says for Fate. TBD. I will be right back. Oh wow. Okay, it's even more positive things in here. So I'm just going to read more positive things about you real quick. Fate is a positive card to draw in a reading. It's letting you know that you're in sync with the universe. So pay attention to synchronicities now so you can understand what it's trying to tell you. Try to align with your destiny by observing the sequence of events that have led you to this moment of your life. When the Fate card is transiting your reading, is representative of fortune and fate being on your side. It is like having a lucky ace in your pocket. Essentially, this card denotes that you're able to co-create your desires with the universe. Granted, you know exactly what it is you want. Don't be fooled. It won't allow your wildest fantasy to come true. Oh, boo. But rather, it asserts that your desires are within your reach, and the universe is conspiring to help you in your goal. Because the universe is in harmony with your desires, the how is up to the intricate patterns and cycles of the universe. The law of odds and fate is on your side with this card. The more you pursue something you want, the more likely you are to receive that energy in return. So take advantage of it. Wow, so look at that. On top of having the Sun card and the world in your hands and balanced emotions, fate and the universe is on your side, and you have a whole bunch of luck. whenever you decide to look for this person in your next love life, I think you're going to find them really quick. I think you're really not going to expect it. I think the way this person is going to come in, I'm not a big love at first sight person, but you may know pretty quickly. There may just be a vibe. That this person feels right to you in a way that other people haven't felt right to you in the past. So very exciting. And when you put your mind to something, you will get it. So whoever this is, your next partner, you're going to find them really quick once you start looking, because you have that energy. You're serious. You want this person in your life ASAP. So I hope that resonated. That's everything that I had for you, group number 3. If that resonated, like and subscribe below. I'd love to add you to the Empress's Court, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 4. And if you picked this cute little pink druzy heart, then you are on the right pile. If you haven't done one of these before, this oracle card, She Who Guides, this is your summary of the reading, and then this oracle card is going to be your summarization at the end. I'm going to do a row of cards on top that's going to be you, and then a second row of cards on the bottom that is going to be your person. So I hope you're excited. I'm excited. I'm going to read your description for that oracle card first. She Who Guides, New Path, Guide, Renewal. And this is about finding a new path. You're going in a new direction, which makes sense if you're looking for love, right? You're looking for a new person. So it may also be that you are looking in new places, looking at a new group, looking for new this, that, and the other thing. Basically, new phone, who dis. We are doing everything a little bit differently. Ooh, look at your first card, the Empress. Love that for you. Yes, I'm biased, but changes nothing. Still love that card for you. Let's see what other cards Spirit has for you when you are looking for your new person. Ignore. You know what? This was up. I'm gonna take it out. 7 of Chalices or 7 of Cups, depending if you follow tarot. You know, before. Okay, a lot of. I thought it was like 1 or 2 cards, and it is a lot of cards. So let's see. 7 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. Okay, and then we have 4 of Wands. We have the Tower. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting close. So you just gonna make sure you can see all of your cards. Give me 1 second. Spirit, we get 2 more cards for this. Okay. I'm feeling this card. Interesting. Wow, we're getting a lot of major arcana cards. Let's see with this one. Ooh. Oh, Queen of Chalices. You know, she came up earlier today. Okay. So, for you, in this reading, you're doing new things. And we have the Empress, which is your divine feminine energy, which again, I love that for you. Things are coming in, things are coming towards you, and you don't really have to do anything. Part of me is like, it's kind of my laziness card, because you're manifesting, you're bringing things in, and that may be a different energy for you, a different vibe, but it is a good thing. We don't have to push, in this case, the love energy, your new person will be coming towards you in some way. And maybe you've been the one to push to be proactive before. You don't have to do that right now. With 7 chalices, I'll see that you also have choices, whether that's with individuals or in how you approach things. I'm seeing it as different people. I think different people are going to come towards you. I think the people who pick this pile, they may have a lot of different energies, a lot of different people in their life. So you may not have to do anything in particular to have these choices. You may even, I'm getting the feeling, not for any particular reason, not because of a card, but I'm getting the feeling that you may have come out of a very long-term relationship. Maybe not recently, but your previous relationship may have been something very long-term. So there may have been people waiting like, oh, this person's really cool. If they were ever single at the same time as me, I talked to them. You may have 1 or 2 people who are thinking along those lines, and now that you're available, maybe interested in leaning towards that. We then have the 7 of Pentacles. So you're someone who is working on a lot of things after your last romantic situation. You may be doing a lot for yourself, maybe working on you a lot. You may be maybe not feel like you're an expert in any particular area, in love, etc. But you're working on your skills, and that's gonna help you. That's gonna help you with maybe your communication, how you interact with this new person, etc. There is some skill sets that you recognize could have been better in your last situation, and so you're moving forward in your next one with this new skill set, or new stronger set of skills. You already had that skill set. So bravo, good for working on you. And then we have 5 of Pentacles. So this past relationship that you were in may have affected your finances in some way a little bit. So that may be something that's on your mind. I don't see it affecting you too much, especially with the Empress energy and things coming your way, things coming towards you. I don't think you have a lot to worry about. I think you have a very neutral, calm energy in this case, and we're just like moving forward. We're just progressing in life with our divine feminine energy. So a lot of things working in your favor, a lot of things working your way. Okay, so if I haven't said it before, I will go ahead and remind you at this time. This top row is you, and this bottom row is the person coming in. So I have the 4 wands for your person coming in, and then I have the Tower. And the reason I'm putting those 2 together is because the 4 of wands is about structure. It's about being stable. It's about family life. So I have whoever this person is, they like stability, thank God. Right, we like our stable kings and queens. They had a stable life, they had their things put together. They're not a lot of rockiness, not a lot of drama, but that was kind of pulled out from under them. The rug was kind of pulled out from under them in their last relationship. They were not expecting it. So you may get a little bit of hesitancy from this person, not because of that anything that you're giving off that would make them feel, something's off, like there's an off-putting energy, but just because they've had that stable energy before, and they had it for a while in their relationship, and then things kind of went awry. The good news with this person that you are going to meet is that we then have the Temperance card. So the Temperance card is about balance. It's about 2 things that maybe don't normally go together, that normally don't really mix, and being able to blend them so that they work well together. Okay, So this person actually is really good about balancing. They're really good about having things that they like or respect come together. So even if things are a little rocky for them right now, or maybe not things are rocky, again, I just feel like this is a really stable person. I'm getting really stable energy from this individual. They are really good at having things come together, and I mean, that just made me a really good vibe. I'm feeling with this, the person who's on this card, the painting of this woman, I'm just really feeling very stable vibes from you, stable vibes from them. I just mean like, maybe not stable is not the right word, grounded, very grounded energy. Like you're gonna meet this person and feel like, this person's steady. They're not easily rocked. They're not usually put off balance, even when they have things going on. I feel like that's the same for you. You are like two peas in a pod in that sense. And then we have the Queen of Chalices. Or Queen of Cups in the traditional tarot. And I think this person just really has, their emotions are very balanced. Their intuition is there. And I think this maybe is something that they're not as open about. But they do feel like they have a sense of knowing, of intuition that they maybe lean towards or are leaning towards more than they would let on. And maybe that's part of the balance as well. They have that inner knowing, that inner feeling that things will work out in the end. And so they don't panic, and that's why they don't shift even when things don't seem quite right, even if things don't seem like they're going to mix. So this is someone that's really steady, you're really steady, and when you meet, it may not be like fireworks, but you'll just, this calm knowing of like, this person's meant to stick around a little bit in my life. This person's meant to be around me, and I'm curious. So that is what I see for you and your partner and this person coming in. Let's go ahead and take a moment and look at your last card, and that card is Earth. So give me one moment while I go ahead and look at the guidebook and see what Earth, that card, that energy is bringing towards you. One moment. Ooh. So I'm reading that it represents the 8th chakra, the soul star. I just think that's really sounds very peaceful. I'm not as strong with my knowledge on the different chakras, but I like that. So okay, Earth is the base, ground, makes sense, foundation and framework from which astrology is prospectively drawn. We don't seem to ever stop and consider our planet as an individual entity, like that of other planets in our solar system. We inevitably leave it out of the symbolic tools that we use to extend the universe beyond and within. We're always taught about the energies that beat down upon our little blue planet, but rarely ever consider the energy that emanates or radiates from Earth itself in relation to its contribution to the whole. Consequently, we probably don't understand Gaia as much as we believe we do. The Earth is our inner identity, our deep needs, and how we are grounded. If we were to plot Earth in our natal charts, it would always appear opposite our sun sign. As a new element, it only brings us a positive new layer of information in which to work with. Earth behaves like a cosmic anchor point of energy. It grounds the zodiac signs, planets, houses, and any other planet touches, and ultimately represents your earthly mission here on Gaia. Okay, and just so you know, your sun sign is whatever your zodiac sign is that you tell people, you know, I'm Pisces, I'm Capricorn, I'm Taurus, whatever have you. So whatever the opposite of that is, I cannot tell you that off the top of my head, wish I could. I'm curious to know as well. So our deep inner needs and grounding. So like I said, both of you seem very steady and grounded. So that's what I'm seeing for your relationship. And I'm seeing that you're able to, with this card, meet each other on a deeper level because that peace and that steadiness is there. You two see it. Other people may see the steadiness, they may not see the grounding and the inner kind of deepness of the relationship at first, which is fine because they're not in the relationship. But it's going to be something that you feel and you're going to be able to pick up on right away. Again, I'm seeing, especially from their side, there's that intuition that they maybe don't speak about. And that's why they come towards you with the Empress energy. That's why they're able to come towards you. They know it's that grounded energy. It may also be a little bit slower than coming towards you. If you're like, oh, there's like a couple people who are trying to talk to me, it may not be clear who it is, but they will make themselves clear, and then it'll click and make sense. So, Earth, groundedness, deep connection, their intuition, your feminine energy. You have choices. And you're working on you, and this person is very balanced and is able to be steady and make things come together, even weird dynamics. So that is all I have for you today. If this resonated, and I hope it did, like and subscribe below. I'd love to have you added to my court, and I will see you next time, group number 4. Bye.